I find it odd that you responded.
I can't see or hear any of you guys.
Uh-oh, you can't hear us?
I can hear you,
I find it odd.
but I can't see you. This is horrible.
Okay, we are all set on the stream.
Okay, Mindy, so we are ready if you want to go ahead and get started.
Okay. Can you see me or just hear me?
We can only hear you.
Okay, I'll work on that. I'm sorry. I don't know what's happening.
It's okay.
All right. We can call the meeting to order at 2. It is February 13th. This is our February SORB board meeting. My name is Mindy Ackerman. I am the vice chair. Our chair, Frank, is unable to be with us today. So I would like to welcome everyone and welcome any guests that might be attending. Tracy, can we get a roll call?
Yes. Mindy Ackerman.
Present.
Elizabeth Bigham.
Present.
Sheriff Brown.
Present.
Jerry Bruce. James Chafin.
Present.
Robbie Frederick.
Present.
Katie Gropper.
Present.
Jim Morton. I think we lost, I knew we lost somebody.
Yeah,
So we
Jim
lost-
was there a second ago.
Oh, you might be reconnecting. I'll come back to him. Frank, I know Frank Mullis will not be here today. Bert Reeves.
Here.
Lori Rozier.
Here.
Megan Thurman.
Present.
Jerry Bruce.
Here.
Okay, so we have a quorum. I am guessing that Jim Morton will log back in when he's able to, and Frank Mullis will not be present.
Okay. I will read the mission statement. SORB's mission statement is our purpose and mission is protecting Georgia's children and communities at large by identifying convicted sexual offenders that present the greatest risk of sexually reoffending. It is the board's responsibility to determine the likelihood that a sexual offender will engage in another crime against a victim who is a minor or a dangerous sexual offense. Assessments will be used by the SORB to determine the risk level of the offense. Offenders will be classified as a level 1, level 2, or sexually dangerous. Have all members received and had an opportunity to review the meeting on from last month?
Yes.
Any comments or questions? Okay, can I get a motion to adopt the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries. Let's see, Tracy, is there any unfinished business that we need to discuss?
Not that I'm aware of.
Any new business?
And that would be for the board.
Okay, any new business board members? There's none that I can think of. All right, we will move forward to the executive director report.
Okay, so there's actually quite a bit to report this month. Part of my presentation is going to be I testified at the appropriation subcommittee yesterday in the Senate, and I'm going to share. I figured because I'm going to share with you my PowerPoint because it's going to address several of the points that I have under my report. So just kind of show you what it looks like and what I discussed. The House is recommending a reduction in our FY25 budget, close to $279,000. It's due to the process of hiring new staff with this new budget and having to hire so many people in there. And to share a little bit about the hiring process that kind of goes under our SORB staffing, we are currently, well, as of February 17th, we'll be at full staff. So we actually have hired several people. We have let go of several people, and I've kind of updated you guys along the way with that. It has been, I'm really proud of my staff, our staff, Amanda and Russ and Marcus, for training all these new staff people because we don't have an office. And again, I'm grateful to our stakeholders in Cobb County for providing us with space to do some of the training. It is difficult, however, to do like one-on-one training with individuals who are struggling with the training piece of it. I know Amanda and Russ are working really hard at finding times to meet or locations to meet and doing a lot of training via Zoom. So I think that has hampered a little bit of our training process. It's just making it a little longer, but they're doing a really great job of it. And the workers, the staff are working really hard at trying to figure out all this training and this process through this, the way things are happen to be handled without us having an office. So really, I believe it's pretty impressive that we have a full staff right now. Very excited about it. So hopefully they will now continue. We're pretty set and solid and won't have very many changes after the 17th. So I had given the subcommittee a little bit of an update regarding what the registry has with sex offenders, about 25,000 individuals. Our backlog is about 7,487. And when we look at the percentages on average for each level, kind of letting them know that, you know, these funds are still really important because there's still all these individuals and predators in particular that are not being classified yet, although working towards it very diligently. And you guys have seen that the numbers are gradually growing. And again, that's through all the really hard work of all the training and work that the staff is doing. So to kind of give a picture of the staff, so in 2024, FY 2024, we had 3 part-time investigators, 4 full-time clinical evaluators. July 1st, when I was able to first hire with our new budget, we immediately had 7 part-time investigators, 8 full-time clinical evaluators, and 3 part-time clinical evaluators, which is a pretty big number since we had just gotten the money to get that many people. But as of the 15th, like I said, we're going to have 8 part-time investigators, 13 full-time clinical evaluators, and 9 part-time clinical evaluators. So we're in a really good place with our staffing. To give you an idea of numbers, and Russ and Amanda will give you a little bit more update on this, but I wanted to share my PowerPoint. In FY24, on average, we were completing about 87 cases a month. As of current, between July 1st and January 31st, that went up to 118 cases a month, which is a 35% increase in our investigations. And then we anticipate, because you know a lot of this part has been in training, so we anticipate everybody's pretty much trained with the investigators. And again, Russ can kind of go over this a little bit, but we should be, come July 1st, fully trained, fully ready, all our people at 160 cases a month, which will be an 85% increase from what we had before when we didn't have the funds to be working these cases. With the evaluation statistics in 24, you can see the numbers and levels that we had, and on average completing 35 cases a month. Between July and February, that's increased to 56 cases a month, which is a 60% increase. And then again, come July 1st, we anticipate, and this is something the board will want to talk in April, when we have our retreat, that cases will be up to 220 cases a month, which is a 529% increase in the numbers, which is huge and very exciting. And that kind of brings us to the backlog. And when I testified last year in anticipation of what we needed to reduce that backlog based on our numbers, if all goes well, which I anticipate that it will, but we know that things change with the laws and all of that. But we should be right on task to what I testified to last year, which is 5 years completing that backlog. So this is what I shared with the Senate subcommittee, and then also I'll be talking to the House subcommittee for the FY26 next week, and basically sharing the same information with them unless I have a little bit of an update, which I really shouldn't, because the numbers I included here include the February numbers for this board meeting. So this was my presentation. Let's see, we did get the reduction, so it's not definite, so we hope to find out in a few weeks what the final reduction will be. That will play a role in several factors. Our new office space that we're supposed to get, it's been a very complicated journey, and the amount it's going to cost for renovations is quite crazy. And so a lot's going to depend on what our final budget is for this fiscal period to know how much money we're going to have to actually put towards renovations, if any. Just a reminder, after the meeting is finished, we will go offline, meaning it won't be recorded, but Marcus will be presenting on a risk factors topic. And now I'm going to hand it over to Richard, and he's going to talk about the different things that he's been kind of focused on. But any questions for me? Okay, great. Okay, Richard.
All right. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Couple things. Our CJCC grant was renewed for this year. That's approximately $234,000. And with that money, we've been able to hire 4 part-time investigators and 2 part-time administrative personnel. So we're pleased that the grant was approved. It was approved, then we had to submit more final paperwork. So that was done this past week. So barring any paperwork errors, we've done the application process. I'm going to share my screen with you here, just go over the website real quick. I know that Tracy sent that out to you. But as you can see here, hold on. Okay. Can you all see that now?
Yes.
Okay. You can tell just the look of it is so much neater and cleaner than our old one. It's very similar to a lot of the other Georgia.gov sites. On our main landing page, we have information about the next board meeting, which is going on. We have links to different areas of information that we want to provide, and victims resources, offender resources. We're still in the works of adding to that. We have information on the board members. You can see all y'all's bios there, and the agendas and minutes are posted on there as required. Also, we have information about risk classification and what people need to do if they want to request a reevaluation or expedited evaluation. One thing about the site, I do want to say Georgia is spelled out. So it's sorb.georgia.gov. So that is important. One of the other things that I do want to thank the folks at the Georgia Technical Authority who worked with us on this. They've been very helpful. We had training last week, so their goal is to make us self-sufficient. So when we have changes, we want to add content, remove content, we're going to have the ability to do that ourselves where we don't have to go to other people to do that. Let me stop sharing. The other thing I have is the database. We've got quotes on some of the changes we want and moving over to GTA to transition to GTA. However, again, with the budget, till we know what we're looking at, it's going to determine what we have available to do for the database. So that's kind of on hold at the moment. And our next board meeting will be March 13th at 10 o'clock. Any questions from anyone?
Okay, great. Thank you, Richard. Russ, did you want to just give a update on things with the training and the investigators and all that good stuff? Did I say Russ or Richard? I get
You
the
said Russ.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I was like, did I say it? Russ? Can you hear us? Give a update on the training and the investigators and. Hey, Russ.
Yes, ma'am. I'm currently in a classroom with 5 of them training right now. Yes, I'm in here with 5 of them training right now when the meeting ends. But to continue on with the numbers you gave, and last month we closed 126, which is showing that average moving up. But to give you an idea of what it stands to really start booming, through the end of yesterday, we've already closed 71 investigations this month. So there stands to be a much bigger jump next month, or at the end of this month. I apologize. But that's all I really have is the training is ongoing, and I'm still seeing steady numbers increase each month as the folks who were hired in July are moving better and better with their cases. And of course, the holidays was 2 of those months, and they were still increasing their closures. So it's looking good.
Great. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions?
Of course,
for
I'm
Richard
available
or
for
Russ?
questions if anybody has any.
Thank you, Russ. Amanda.
Yes. Yes. Hi. So we are, as Tracy said, we have a lot of new evaluators and they are continuing to do very good work. Each month you should expect to see significantly more cases every month that you will be reading. And every month my
Oh, I
goal
need your
is that
volume back, man.
each evaluator will complete more cases than they did the previous month as they continue to get better each month. That's what I'm hoping to see. They're at different levels. Some are improving significantly quick and some are just coming on board. And so it's a process. They're at different levels. And so some of the training is going slower for some as they navigate the portals with their different levels of experience. So I also have to take that into consideration, some of the training challenges. But each month you can expect to see more cases from each person than you saw the last month. That's my goal. And I'm available for any questions that anybody might have.
Okay, thanks, Amanda.
Mhm.
And that is all that we have, Mindy.
All right. Thank you. That was a lot of good information. We can move on to the review of cases. Tracy, did you want to review how the cases are leveled or the leveling process?
Yeah, so we receive lists from a variety of our stakeholders each month, in addition to weekly notifications from clerk of courts of newly convicted sex offenders. And that information goes into our database. Then investigators choose the cases to start working, which includes one, having the criminal history, identifying what offenses they need to be selecting and requesting, which is not just sex offenses, but also offenses that are related to risk, such as violent offenses. And once they complete their investigation and put it all together in a nice packet, then an evaluator will choose a case that they will start working on and process through all the investigative information, the prison information, Department of Community Supervision information, and treatment, sex offender specialized treatment information, and any information that an offender might provide or anybody else might provide that needs to be reviewed, and then make a recommendation to the board. Throughout the month, as those cases are being completed and uploaded, the board members are able to review those cases. They're only identified for the board members by number, so that for confidentiality and more so objectivity. And if a board member recognizes a case, or we recognize a case for a board member because it's in the notes that we're reviewing, they will be recused and are not to be voting on those cases. And we note that on our case list. And think that's about it.
Okay, thank you. So beginning with level 1 cases, do we have any recusals?
I'm sorry, hold on one second. Let me get the list out because I did want to
Yeah,
share.
it looks like Frank, it looks like just Frank, and he's not here.
I'm sorry, hold on one second, because I was just going to put up the case list, but I'm not showing it. So, okay. So yes, on the level 1 cases, both are Frank, so it does not affect the quorum.
Okay, anyone else? Do any members have any questions or comments about, or concerns about the level 1 cases?
Hey, this is Bert. I would request to pull 6064. And the reason why is I would like to see if we could get police reports or any further documents about he's been arrested 3 times for furnishing alcohol to a minor. The first 2 have a disposition, the third does not. But I was just curious, it's kind of predatory behavior. His underlying sex offense involves a pretty aggressive statutory rape of a 14-year-old. And I, when I look at that in conjunction with the 3 arrests for furnishing alcohol to a minor, I'm just curious if the victims in those cases were younger girls. They may not be. And even if they are, it may not affect anything. But that's some pretty predatory behavior, and I would like to have a fuller picture of this person's criminal history. He has an aggravated assault conviction where he did some time on as well that doesn't appear to be related to any kind of sexual deviancy. And then he has some revocations after. But so anyways, I just like to pull it and see if we can supplement it and get some more information and then put this back on in time.
I second Bert's motion.
Okay.
And I think, Bert, did you mean 4064?
Yeah, that's probably what I meant.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yes, thank you for mentioning that. The case is 4064.
Okay. Can I get a motion to adopt the level 1 cases that have been presented?
Do
We
we
do the
need
roll
to?
call. We do the roll call after that, or do I do
Well,
the
no,
motion?
I think Bert and Jared, there was a first and second on polling 4064. I don't know if we need to have
Do I
everybody,
need a motion?
not a roll call, but yeah,
Do we just do aye, or are we calling for everybody?
you just do an aye.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
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 And any opposed?
Okay, so 4064 will be pulled, so that leaves us with 15 level 1 cases.
Okay. And we do a motion to adopt first before a roll call and votes, right?
Yes.
Okay. Can I get a motion to adopt the level 1 cases?
So moved. This is Katie.
Second.
Bert.
Thank you. Tracy.
I'm
can
sorry,
you-
wait, we gotta have who was second?
Bert.
Bert was second, okay.
Katie was first. All right.
Yep, Katie was first, yes, first and second. Okay, so roll call, Mindy,
Aye.
Elizabeth,
Aye.
Sheriff Brown,
Aye.
Jerry,
Aye.
James,
Aye.
Robbie,
Aye.
Katie,
Aye.
Jim Morton, okay, he might not be able to hear us, and his inability to vote does not change the quorum. Bert,
Aye.
Lori,
Aye.
Megan,
Aye.
they pass.
Okay. Moving on to level 2 cases, it looks like we have Frank is recused from several, which he's not present. Robbie, I believe, is that you?
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
Okay, and Tracy, I also have a recusal on level 2.
Okay.
It's number 21813. And then it looks like we have 3 that have been resubmitted. How do we handle those right now?
I'd recommend first discussing the committee case, which is the 26353, which is
Yes.
this case that was pulled. I had sent out the information to everyone regarding the feedback from each of the committee members and each of the committee members' recommendations. And Mindy, I don't know if you want to go ahead and kind of manage that part of it and just discussing about the committee.
Yes. You mean describing the committee or what the results were?
The results.
Yeah. So the results look like they were split right down the middle, with it looked like 3 voting to remain with the original level of level 2 and 3 wanting him to be advanced to the sexually dangerous predator classification. I think we did this, about 2 months ago, because I know we weren't able to discuss this at the last meeting. So was it 2 or was it 3 meetings ago that we were sent this?
It's been, well, you were sent following that meeting, and that's been 2 meetings since then that it couldn't be voted on. And so now we're, voting now.
Yeah, so it's been a while. I don't know what the procedure is when we're at an even tie. Do we just discuss that as a board and make a decision?
So the last time that we had a committee case is, yes, first have a conversation about this case, and then I will go one by one and what each individual would vote on for that, and the quorum for the level would be the conclusion. And Elizabeth Crowder, correct me if I'm wrong.
You are not wrong.
Thank you.
So and help me remember who originally requested to pull this and if they want to speak on the original concern.
I believe it was Jim Morton.
I pulled that.
Jim, was that you?
Yeah, I hope y'all can hear me. I've lost internet at my office and I'm on cellular data. That's why I keep coming in and out of the meeting. But let me know if you can't hear me. The reasons I pulled it, if you
How would we do that, Jim? Go ahead, sorry.
text me, carrier pigeon, whatever. Most of this, I think, if you read the document entitled "Case Recommendation" that Tracy sent out, a lot of my concerns are listed first. I think beginning with the heinousness of the crime. I don't know if that's a scientific reason. It's just this guy seems like he's capable of some serious damage to people, and he's in denial. So not completing treatment, not even admitting the offense. I know denial is not tied to recidivism, but how's he going to finish treatment if he doesn't admit it? So the polygraphs don't seem sufficient. I would defer to Robbie or whoever if we get quality control of those polys. I don't know who did them. Those are my main concerns.
Tracy, could you go to the committee's comments? Okay. Well, and I can speak for myself. I was one of the members of the committee to review. And I absolutely do agree that this one's probably on the fence and could go either way. And I understand definitely Jim's concerns. I did see that the original evaluator did take into consideration the duration, the frequency of the offending behavior, and that severity or the heinous severity of the behavior. He did wait nearly a year to begin treatment, which was definitely non-compliance with supervision. Lack of progress. I believe he was in the deniers group. Does have some additional paraphilias with frauderism. And so all of that is definitely concerning. I think my take was he does demonstrate concerning risk factors, but didn't think it was quite enough information to designate as an SDP. Since he has been released, he has maintained employment. Yes, the non-deceptive on the polygraph, although I hear that was in question, the polygraph. And that he has continuing to participate in the deniers group. So that is a concern. Of course, and then I don't know if anyone wants to go over their SDP justifications. I know Jim just spoke.
One of the first things I saw is even before his sex offense, he had driving with suspended license. This is something where the judge told him you're no longer allowed to drive, and he drove anyway. So he showed that as a non-compliance behavior even before the offense, and it continued afterwards where he refused to enroll in sex offender treatment. So I see that he's wanting to play by his own rules, which to me makes him more dangerous.
Was that Robbie? I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm looking at my phone. Did you, any way you can see the polys, or is there a way to do that at this point, or are we past that, Tracy?
Yeah, we're past that.
Okay.
This is Bert. I agree. This is on the fence. I think the factor that would probably cause me to agree to categorize him as a SDP is that he hasn't been perfect after his. I mean, the underlying crime is heinous. Like there's no doubt about it. That's a shocking one. And if he had been perfect after release, then all right, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt as a level 2. But I think that his refusal to be what I think needs to be absolute perfection, those blemishes to me would probably make me inclined to categorize him as a sexually dangerous predator. And then from there, let him take the next couple of years and see, the next few years to see if he can earn a lower status.
To add to that comment, even when he was in prison, he assaulted a guard.
Hey, this is Jerry. One of my problems with it was that even the supposedly objective measures of giving this guy whoever a classification, didn't meet the best practices for the overseeing authority for the psychosexual evaluations because of the lack of collaterals, totally a self-report. So I didn't feel like that was even reliable based on all the other subjective factors. And the history of the case, I thought it was firmly in the sexually dangerous predator camp, which is not a camp I'd like to go to. Don't send your kids there.
Any other thoughts or comments? Minnie, do you want me to go down through each person?
Sure.
Okay, so I'll do a roll call and you'll just let me know if you would recommend a level 2 or SDP. Mindy?
This is a hard one, but I think I'm still gonna stick with the original evaluator, level 2.
Liz,
Level 2.
Sheriff Brown,
Level 2.
Jerry,
SDP.
James,
SDP.
Robbie,
SDP.
Katie,
SDP.
Jim,
SDP.
Bert,
SDP.
Lori,
Level 2.
and Megan.
SDP.
We have 7 SDP votes, which is a quorum, so there's no question regarding the quorum numbers for SDP. Elizabeth, is there anything we need to do other than recognizing that the SDP meets the quorum?
No.
Okay, so we will be altering this case from a level 2 to an SDP.
Just make sure you record the vote.
And that means in the minutes, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you, everybody, on your work on that case.
Tracy, may I make one more comment? I guess I will. You tell me if I can't. It looks like he was coded as that was a relative, not an unrelated victim, or did I get that wrong?
Unrelated. He was the mother's.
Oh, not a stranger. Okay. I just wanted to correct that, but you're right.
Okay. And then Tracy, what do we need to do about the other, the resubmits? Yeah.
So the other submission resubmit was a 30542.
And then we had another one.
The 25529 was only because of a technical error, and that has been changed.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I can pull up for you to the 30542. Maybe. Okay, here we go. This was, again, a level 2 case that we pulled so that the board could review it further.
This one did not go to committee though,
It
correct?
did not,
Okay.
correct. It was just resubmitted back into the level 2s. The evaluator did not feel that there was enough information to suggest a predator.
Are you pulling it up or?
Yep. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I need to share it. Would help, huh? Sorry.
Okay.
I'm looking at it. There you go. Okay.
Oh, okay. This is the one. I believe this is the one that I asked to have pulled. Again, and I can, Tracy, do you want me to speak now on this one?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Again, another one that I have struggled with, even up until this meeting today on the fence. I've really honestly gone back and forth. Level 2, I'm questioning whether it should be an SDP, but honestly, I'll talk a little bit about the risk factors that I was concerned about. Of course, he's offended against male victims. I believe there were 2 initial male victims, one that had intellectual disability. He has not completed treatment. He's only been, I believe, in the community for about 2 years. And then during that time, he was found by probation that he was having contact with other children, including one that was also intellectually disabled, which was concerning. I'm trying to remember everything else that came up for me. And I believe there was quite some time or duration that he was offending against both boys.
It's like approximately 2 years.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And again, the one who was mentally disabled, no treatment, only been out in the community, I think, for 2 years, and then was found in contact with minors, and in particular, one that was, well, the 21-year-old male, but he was intellectually disabled. So yeah, I think that's it. And again, can I double check? Can you scroll down, Tracy, on how long he's been in the community? Or scroll up.
You
I'm
are
sorry.
correct. He got out in June of 23.
Okay, yeah. So hasn't been out long, already has had some other risky behavior with contact with minors and another disabled individual. Again, just having the male victims, has not completed treatment. Just doesn't seem to be starting off on a good foot. Just kind of made me feel a little bit nervous, but I definitely see where the evaluator came up with a stage 2. But I'm also kind of worried about this one. That's all I have.
Any other thoughts? Okay, so we can move forward with the vote as a level 2, unless there's any more discussion on that case.
Hey, Tracy, was this from last month's meeting?
It was.
Okay, so I don't think I should vote because I haven't really read it.
Well, I mean, it was submitted though, again.
Okay.
So it was in the it was still in the cases for review for this month.
Oh, so I can vote.
Yes, as long as you.
I mean, I don't know if it matters, but I agree with Mindy 100% that he's clearly still exhibiting predatory behavior and focusing on and being around who kind of one of his main victims was initially. So
And I have a little something, Tracy, is the victim, from the way I read it, the victim with the mental disability, when he stated that he didn't want the offender threatened to harm him with a belt.
Yeah, that's right.
Keep him from saying anything and disclosing it. So that that bothers me for sure.
Yeah, thank you. I had forgotten about that part, but I remember that now. Yeah, thanks.
and he just clearly targets a vulnerable population that unfortunately is very easy to be victimized.
Yeah, very vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
And 2, the mentally disability can probably, but depending on what level they're on, they may not know how to disclose it either.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another worry of mine, that he targets those that may not know how to disclose it.
So do you want to motion to see about moving this case into the SDP list and see if that moves it? Because people don't have, so we can, if there's a majority to move it, we can move it. If there's not a majority to move it, we can keep it and vote it as a 2. Not everybody everybody doesn't obviously have to agree with the 2. They can deny the 2. And then if we don't have a quorum, then it can be moved to committee. So either there's enough people to move it to the SDP list, or we can kind of see what happens in the level 2 list.
Am I able to motion it since I'm the one that requested to pull it, or does that need to be
Yes.
someone else? Okay,
Mhm.
I'll motion to move it to the SDP list.
I second.
I'm going to do a roll call to see everybody, to see if they want to move it to the SDP list. So we have Mindy and Elizabeth. Sheriff Brown, this is just to see if you want to move this particular case, which is 30542, to the SDP list. Sheriff Brown? Is Sheriff Brown on anymore? Okay, Sheriff Brown is no longer on. Okay. Jerry?
I agree to move it to the SDP list. Do we still have a quorum?
We do. James?
I agree to move it to SDP.
Robbie?
SDP.
Katie?
SDP.
Jim?
Um,
Oh.
level 2.
Okay, so you do not want to move it. Okay, Bert?
SDP.
Lori?
SDP.
Megan?
SDP.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have enough to move him to the SDP list. So that brings us to 53 level 2 cases to vote on. We voted on 26353 to be leveled as an SDP, and we're moving 30542 to the sexually dangerous predator list, which will bring us to 10 for that list. So Mindy, when you move for the level 2s, it's 53 cases.
53, okay.
Tracy, if I have to hop off, do you still have a quorum? I have another meeting, but I don't want to put anybody in a bind.
I think the only person we're missing now are 2, so yes, we have a quorum.
Okay, well then I'm gonna hop off. I have another meeting. I'm very sorry.
Okay, thank you, Katie.
Okay, so, Tracy, do we need to motion to adopt the level 2 cases?
Yes.
Okay. Can we get a motion to adopt?
So moved.
I motion that we adopt the level 2 cases.
Second.
Well, I have first is Liz and second is Lori.
Yeah,
Roll call?
can we get a roll call?
Yes, I'll do. So let me do roll call. Mindy,
Aye.
Elizabeth, or Liz.
Aye.
And I know Sheriff Brown, make sure he hasn't returned. Sheriff Brown is not on. Jerry,
Aye.
James,
Aye.
Robbie,
All cases except for my recusal, aye.
Oh, yeah, same for me, except for my recused case.
and I need to mark that to make sure we have, okay. Jim,
Aye.
Bert,
Aye.
Lori,
Aye.
Megan.
Aye.
Okay, so let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8. So we do have a quorum for the recused cases as well. So those pass.
Okay. Moving on to the sexually dangerous predator cases, do we have any recusals?
All are Franks, it appears to be, unless somebody
Okay.
else has a recusal.
Anyone else? All right. Do any members have any questions, comments, or concerns about the SDP cases?
Tracy, did you say there's 10?
There are 10 because we moved 30542 to the SDP cases.
So I have 16 in my
Oh.
list. And then first, when I clicked over just a few minutes ago, I had 2 that were like new. Because I mean, I went through them all the other day and they were all red, but they were black this morning.
Hold on a second.
I just
You're
want to
right.
make sure something's not.
I
messed
actually have
up.
18. I'm apologize. There's 8. So there's going to be 19. I'm sorry. That's the wrong number. 19.
Okay.
Thank you for correcting that. There's 19 SDP cases with that additional case of 30542.
Okay.
Okay. Can we get a motion to adopt the sexually dangerous predator cases?
James, I so move to adopt the SDP cases.
I second.
Can we get a roll call?
Yep, 1 second. So James and then Lori, a second. Yes. Mindy?
And I don't have any questions or concerns, and my vote is aye.
Liz, any questions or concerns about the SDP cases?
No, my vote is aye.
Jerry, any questions or concerns about any of the SDP cases?
No, and my vote is aye.
James, any questions or concerns about any of the SDP cases?
No, my vote is aye.
Robbie, any questions or concerns about any of the SDP cases?
No questions or concerns, aye.
Katie, any questions? Oh, she's not here. I'm sorry. Take her out. Okay. Jim, any questions or concerns about any of the SDP cases? And I have you with 30542 wanting to be a level 2, so you can deny that particular case. So you'd be voting on 18 cases.
So I'll deny that particular case and I'll vote SDP on the remaining cases. No questions or concerns.
Okay, thank you. And Bert, any questions or concerns about any of the SDP cases?
No, aye.
Lori, any questions or concerns about any of the SDP cases?
No, my vote is aye.
And Megan, any questions or concerns about any of the SDP cases?
No, my vote is aye.
Okay, just let me count to be sure. 1, 2, 3. So we are good with all the cases, including the recused, well, not the, including the denied case, the 30542. So it meets quorum and he is classified as the SDP.
Okay. Moving on to the reevaluation cases. Do we have 4 that I'm seeing, 4 reevaluation cases?
Dude.
I
Can
see
we
2.
Okay.
We do have 4.
Oh.
I see 2 as well.
Yeah.
Are y'all looking at re-level or re-eval?
Oh yeah, they get combined.
Oh, my bad. I was
Yeah.
looking at the wrong one.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh.
I was going in order across the thing. My bad.
You're stressing me out a little bit. I'm like, oh,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was just going in order.
It's okay.
Yeah, I
saw
forgot
re.
about that. They get combined together.
Yes. And I just saw re.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
there's 4. I'll be quiet now.
Can we get a motion to adopt the reevaluation cases?
So moved.
Okay, it was Jerry.
I second.
Thank you. And then can we get a roll call, please?
Okay, Mindy, any questions or concerns about any of the re-eval cases?
No questions or concerns. My vote is aye.
Liz, any questions or concerns about any of the re-eval cases?
No, my vote is aye.
Jerry, any questions or concerns about any of the re-eval cases?
Vote is aye.
James, any questions or concerns about any of the re-eval cases?
No, and my vote is aye.
Robbie, any questions and concerns about any of the re-eval cases?
No questions or concerns, aye.
And then Katie is not on. Jim, any questions and concerns about any of the re-eval cases?
No, my vote is aye.
Bert, any questions and concerns about any of the re-eval cases?
No, aye.
Lori, any questions and concerns about any of the re-eval cases?
No, my vote is aye.
Megan, any questions and concerns about any of the re-eval cases?
No, my vote is aye.
And they pass. And before you guys move forward, I just want to remind you to please stay once Mindy does her ending, that you stay on for Marcus's short training.
Yeah, so nobody leave. Okay. So that brings us
I have to leave because I've got an 11 o'clock, so I apologize.
Okay. All right, that brings us to the end of our cases. Tracy, just to double check I have this correctly, we had 4 reevals, 19 SDPs, 53 level 2s, And I have, and not sure I wrote this correctly, 13 level ones,
15 level ones.
15.
Yep.
Okay. So
The one
total-
was pulled to get additional information.
So is that a total of 91 cases? Did I do the math correctly?
Hold on, because I'm not a math person, so let me get my calculator really quick. So that's 91 voted on cases. Yes.
All right, great. Well, thank you, everyone. I know this takes a lot of time, but this is so important for the safety of our community. So again, thank you to everyone on the board. And gosh, I almost said I look forward to seeing everyone next month, but it's not next month, it's April for the retreat. So we'll see everyone back for the board meeting, but stay here for the training. And I will officially adjourn the meeting at 10:57.
Thank you, everything for everything. And so, Kaylin, you can go ahead and stop recordings.
Okay, since you're the host, you have to
And the recording, okay.
end the YouTube and the recording.
And then hold on, let me go to